Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. Finally, some good news on a day that's been very, very tough for everyone. Facing a lot of criticism this morning, being told to go back to my country. I've received many emails today from people who didn't like me calling out our guest this morning that we put onto the show. I'm not going to mention her name. But many of you majority of you were very supportive, but I also received lots of hate mail as well for bringing the truth to you and told to get out of the country, go home if you don't like it. We don't need you to invest in America, and so on and so forth. This journey of being on YouTube is not as easy as you might think, but it's the right thing to do. And I'll always do the right thing. So I appreciate all the love and support from everybody, but it's a tough journey. But despite all of that, it is a journey. And today we have some good news. And we want to celebrate that and we want to enjoy that because we have growth, and don't take that for granted. Not all economies do have growth. Not all countries have growth. This is why I continue to invest in America. I continue to work and live here and pay my taxes and do the right thing and go live every day and support everybody. Work hard as I can to put as much into the system as I can. Never sell, always buying, always supporting the American economy. Never sold, never left, stayed in the S&P consistently. You can see now we're green for the week. We've got growth. That's why there are some numbers here I wanted to share with you, which hopefully will give some encouragement today, because it is tough. We are going through uncertainty and tariffs and all the rest of it, but yet we still have a resilient economy, and it's why I make the informed decision to stay in, consistently invest in the United States, even though it's tough. And today I shared, of course, my personal journey and what I felt like last night when I heard a reporter being sworn at and told to go back to their country, of course, from America to England. Made me feel awful. I shared it with you this morning, and I got people attack me for it. Fortunately, the Lucas aides and my members were with me, but nevertheless, we took some abuse for that, for highlighting the news. So, what good news do we have today? Well, I'm going to share it with you. So tap the like button. Let me know you're here. Consider subscribing. Much, much appreciated. And let's look at our news today. And just to make ourselves feel a little bit better, here are the little fellas. The little fellas appreciate when you tap the like button. They really do. And they're always here, just like me, every day. They show up. And they're just themselves, trying to provide some comfort and some support. There you go. Tap the like button and consider subscribing to our channel. Okay, let's get straight into it. What's the good news I've got for you today? Well, as you can see, we are green on the week. We're actually green on the day as well, but we are still showing that we're down on the day. It's because the calibration of the chart is out slightly, so that's what's skewing it. But we're actually up on the day, and we're actually up on the week, which is nice. Let me share the information with you. I've got two stories to share with you. Which one should I do first? I should probably do this one first. Okay, here we go. So, US stocks fall as auto tariff angst offsets solid economic growth. It's what I've been saying forever. The economy is strong. It's just the uncertainty that's providing the volatility, and that's what it all comes down to. But the economic growth is good. Sound investment, good idea to be buying the economy, good idea to manage margin, to amplify the gains, but it's tough. I've got a splitting headache. I feel like rubbish. Taking abuse from people this morning was very, very tough. And it's not, the feeling isn't going away anytime soon, I'm afraid. I do feel a little bit unwelcome at the moment. I know I'm not amongst my members, but I am. It's not pleasant. The emails are absolutely disgusting. Wall Street major averages ticked lower in Thursday's afternoon trade as a hit to sentiment from President Donald Trump. Donald Trump's new tariffs on auto imports offset positive economic data. There is some great news. I'll share the details with you in a moment. The benchmark S&P 500 was last down 0.4%, while the NASDAQ composite was down 0.5%, the Dow 0.5%, okay, all down. In the fixed income markets, the US 10-year Treasury yield hit a one-month high as bonds were dumped. It was last up 3 basis points to 4.37. The shorter end 2-year yield was flat at 4.01. Trump on Wednesday announced 25% tariffs on automobile imports that are set to take effect on April the 2nd. The tariffs will initially start at 2.5% and gradually increase to 25%. Okay, that's a slight change. That's some new information just come out. Okay, great. Stocks of legacy US car maker General Motors and Ford saw a negative impact, -6 and -3 respectively. No surprise there. US listed shares of Italian French Stellantis were down 2.1. No surprise there. On the other hand, shares of Tesla, which produce all of its vehicles in the US, that's a little bit misleading because lots of their products and bits and pieces for the cars come in from other countries. So we need to remind ourselves it's not all made in the United States. That's oversimplifying it. A lot of the parts will be brought in as well, and they'll be taxed as well. Which produces all of its vehicles in the US were up 1.5. Moreover, used car retailer Hertz up 22% and 18% respectively on expectations that used car prices could rise in response to tariffs. You could end up seeing that a used car could be more expensive than a new one because it won't have the tax, right? People are also thinking of repairing their cars and making them last longer. But of course, it won't work out that way because the parts are going to have the 25% tariff as well. So look out for that. Wedbush believes the auto tariffs could ultimately push the average price of cars in the US up by $5,000 to $10,000. Countering the tariff developments were a positive update on the US economic growth. Before the opening bell, the US Bureau of Economic Analysis third estimate of Q4 GDP growth came in at 2.4, higher than expected figure of 2.3%. With tariff uncertainties soaring US growth expectations recently, the strong reading came as a bit of a relief. Indeed, it is. Now, this might not last for long, but nevertheless, it does show you the state of the economy, the state of the broader market is there. And like you just saw there, one stock can be down and another one can be up to offset that. GDP, I just read that. Okay. Also on Thursday, economic calendar, initial jobless claims held roughly steady in the past week. Additionally, US trade in goods shortfall was better than expected in February. This is all good stuff. Lastly, the US pending home sales index rose 2% to 72 month over month in February, stronger than the up 0.9% expected, but accelerating from negative 4.6 in January. Wall Street this week rallied stronger on Monday and just about extended the advance on Tuesday, but Wednesday ended deep in the red. Markets continue to follow a 2 steps forward and 1 step back recovery. Unfortunately, the gap up on Monday appears needing to be filled, so we are in one of the steps back at the moment. The S&P needs to trade 5,670 to fill that gap. We still think it can trade to 5,900 before the counter trend rally is over. But today action is a reminder that the much talked about month-end flows are not always a guarantee. Chief market technician at BTIG said on Wednesday. So there you go. Some good news there. All right. So the markets are generally doing well, and also we should be encouraged by the fact that they're holding up despite all of this. We could have had a mass sell-off this morning, and we only kind of went down to slightly above where we were before, which is very, very good news. You should have some confidence there. Now then, just to spoil it a little bit, what if rate cuts come off the table? That is now a potential thing. For me, of course, that's expensive because I'm all in on margin and I'd love to see rates come down. But we do have the chance now there may be no rate cuts at all, which will upset Trump, I'm sure, because he wants the rates to come down for the national debt. However, with tariffs in place and supposedly permanent tariffs in place, the Fed has to keep the rates high to stop inflation going back up again. So let me share that information with you. So this isn't necessarily bad, though, because for the mega caps, they play the biggest part, 30% of the S&P. They will rally again because they don't mind rates being up. That doesn't bother them. They're not subject to that. So money will come out of the Russell and go back into the tech where I live in the S&P. So that would be good for the S&P and the broader market. So this doesn't have to be a bad story either. So it's a good day today. I'm giving you some good news. It's making me feel better just to have the studio green and to deliver good news. So let's do this. If you just tuned in, please tap the like button and consider subscribing. It's been a very difficult day for me today, extremely difficult. Received lots of hate mail today because and very offensive and very rude and aggressive messages because I showed you that lady this morning who was being extremely rude, and some people took offense to that and told me to get out of America, go back home, and we don't want your investment and stuff like that, which is very, very nice, isn't it? But I carry on doing the right thing. And that's the one thing, folks. You know that 4 years, I said I'd never give up. I never will give up. I'll always do the right thing by you. I'll always be here. I'll always be live. And I'll always find a way to invest and win and be successful, even if it's difficult. And it is right now. No Fed rate cut in May signal policymakers are done for 2025. Now, that's only an opinion. I actually don't share that opinion. I still think we'll get two. I've said now for over a year we're going to get two. When others were said we get two, we get four, we get none, we get two, we get four, we get none. On and off, on and off. I've said consistently 2, if not 3. 2 is great. If I can go under 5% for my margin cost, that would be a great thing for me. A great thing for me indeed. Consider the Federal Reserve essentially finished in making interest rate reductions in 2025 if policymakers opt to not cut at the May 7th meeting. Bianco Research founder Jim Bianco said, now, we have to wait until the data, and there'll be more data next week. We've got GDP again today. We'll let some more inflation figures, but really none of it really counts until the 2nd of April. But as Jerome Powell said, he was bullish. He said transitory, which means one-off payments. We could be good going forward to the end of the year. So there could be still a room for cutting rates. Anyway, investors have been traversing through a stock market correction, not a crash. We have to remember that, okay? When we look at the overall portfolio, we're bouncing again and we're up on the week. We've not had a major crash. The economy is still strong despite all of this. We are still doing well. Again, it's a great testament to the strength of the US economy, which is good. That's why I am an investor here in the United States. Investors have been traversing through a stock market correction, hyperventilation about the Trump administration's tariff policy, and analyst calls flagging the end of US exceptionalism that supports US equities, Bianco told Fox Business this week. If they can't find a reason to cut on May 7th, they're not going to find a reason to cut on May 7th. And the cycle actually ended in December, he said in a televised interview. Things will have to get materially worse to revive a Fed cut in the second half of 2025, which I'm not expecting. Bianco said in a Wednesday post on X, calling the May 7th meeting the most important of this year. Every time we do an FOMC report, it's always the most important most important meeting every single time. He posted this chart showing traders seeking an 84% probability of the Federal Open Market Committee holding its key rate at 4.25 to 4.5 and pricing a 73% probability for a cut in June. Okay. Now, if you want to pause that there, you can, and you can have a closer look there. But you can see how we've got the probability of a Fed rate cut in the first half of 2025, just to give you a little bit of a flavour there. All right? But June is months away, and the trend is towards another no-move meeting, more than 50%. He wrote, more and more, it's looking like the Fed is done, Bianco said. I don't agree. I think we'll get a rate cut of 0.25 in May. I think we're going to get a lot of information in April. We're now learning this afternoon that these 25% tariffs start at 2.5 and ramp up. Imagine trying to administer all this. It must be a nightmare. But I do believe, and there are ongoing meetings going on now from Europe, knowing that this is not good for them. It's not good for the US either, because it actually costs the end user, the consumer in the United States. I think there's going to be potentially a dilution of this, and that will send the market upwards and also give the chance for the Fed to reduce rates because there won't be any inflation. So good shoots coming from everywhere today. The NASDAQ composite has tipped back into correction territory while the S&P has ebbed away from the correction it dipped into this month. In 2025, the S&P 500 is down more than 3% and the NASDAQ has lost more than 7%. Okay, so some good news today. Today's video was called Good News. Stocks fall as US tariff offsets solid economic growth. So I wanted to share that with you. Let me bring everyone's comments in. So we've got Stacey Bailey who is sending some love there. Thank you much indeed. Max, good afternoon to you. What happened with your claims, Palantir to drop 80% and Nvidia for 150? Yep, I still believe, Nvidia did do 150. It went to 150, as we said, on the SEC. I don't know why so many people who are not members always try to come in and catch me out. Like, first of all, I'm not allowed to make a mistake, and it's my fault what they do with their money, even though I never lose money on my portfolio. And I've done 23 trades, 23 wins, and I only buy the S&P. You're not following me anyway. But anyway, it did do 150 on the what was it called? Not the SEC, the Vegas thing. It did. It did the 140 on the earnings and the 150 on the Vegas, the first Vegas show. That did happen, and actually, I still say it's going to 200. So I don't know what you mean there, GL. And your claims that Palantir would drop. Well, it did drop. So I'm not really quite sure when you're saying it didn't drop. I mean, I don't know what that really means. It did drop. Let me put it on the screen. So here it was. It got up here, 700 times earnings. And we had a drop. We had from the peak to the trough. That was up 398%, 205%. So there's your drop right there. So it did exactly what I said it would do. But again, you know, I am allowed to get things wrong, but I didn't get it wrong. It did come down, like I said, and whatever. But I don't know why you want to try and prove me wrong or something. But anyway, we like having you in our country. So do the little fellas and the little ladies. There you go. Let's do that. Let's do the little fellas and the little ladies as well. Bearing in mind, folks, I do regard it as my country too. When people say, you know, welcome to our country, I appreciate that, but I also do regard it as my country because I am a green card holder going through citizenship. So I'm full American citizen in waiting, and I work here, live here, invest here. So I see it as my country too. But hi everyone, the Peckman. Vanessa, I know the feeling. Just know there are so many who appreciate you. That's kind of you, Vanessa. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hi, Peckman. Hi, Stacey. Lovely. Says, hi, says Peckman. Hi, Vanessa. Gold is beating the S&P, not the sign of a strong economy, sir. No, that is correct. That's because of uncertainty. People are buying gold. No issue there. I wouldn't be doing it. I don't really like hedges. I like to buy things that actually make money, not go up purely on fear. I don't have fear. I have frustration and I have upset, and you saw expressed this morning, but I don't have fear in my convictions and my strategy and my investment and my numbers that I study. I'm perfectly happy. But do I like to see all this uncertainty and this fighting and arguing and stuff? No, of course not. But I don't really like gold. I don't see any point in owning gold. I know it's gone up, but go back down again. It doesn't produce anything. I'd rather own the S&P, which produces something. Hi, Jerry, says Stacey. Hi, Stacey. Overqualified, undermotivated, sick, tired, and still kicking butt. Overqualified, undermotivated, sick, tired, and still kicking butt. I like that, Brian. Hello, Brian. What's up? Hiya, Stacey. Silver is about to short squeeze next. It might well do. Again, it's not for me. I wouldn't do that. Space down 25% this week. Yes, it is. Gone back down again, but we were in the middle of a short squeeze. A lot of our members made money from it. Someone said to me on X, no, they didn't. No one made money. Well, it went up 25%, so people did make money. I don't know how you can say they didn't when they did. Just ask our members. Lots of you made money. But we can't help that suddenly we wake up with tariffs and everything goes and sells off, because that will make the parts for Virgin Galactic that much more expensive. And lots of parts are brought in for Virgin Galactic. So no surprise there that it went down. I don't know why people blame me for Virgin Galactic going down when I have nothing to do with the tariffs, but I've been getting those messages and calls all day as well. It's all my fault that Virgin Galactic went down. Good afternoon, Zach. Going to get some little chickens today. Oh, lovely stuff. I think it has something to do with what they found with the pyramids. I don't know anything about that. I have visited the pyramids twice, actually. I've actually rode a horse round the pyramids, like what's his name? The Lawrence of Arabia. I actually rode a horse around the pyramids. Yeah, it was quite an experience. Rabia Rays, I can hear it in your voice that you're not happy today, but please remember there are so many of us who appreciate you, listen to you, and enjoy learning from you. You are here for people like me. Rabia, thank you. I appreciate it. It's this is a real life journey, and we go through the ups and downs of life, and you watch this show and you see everything. You see everything. There's no pretense, there's no makeup, there's no mask, there's no dressing up. You see everything, and I share everything with you. That was my promise to do that 4 years ago. I don't hide things and filter things away, and as we get bigger, the gains get bigger and the hits get bigger too. Just the way it is. So you see a huge dip and sell-off on the 1st of April before tariffs. No, I actually don't. I don't know what's going to happen. No analyst does. But obviously I'm bullish because I'm fully in with my cash. I'm fully in with my margin. I'm fully in. I couldn't be more in. We're showing resilience now. We're showing resilience. The market is holding up. And what can Trump do to surprise us next? It's all priced in. In my opinion, it's priced in. We've experienced it. We know what's coming next. More of the same. I don't see this crash, because let's remember, we haven't had a crash. We've had a correction, and that's healthy. But it's bouncing around that 200 moving average, 19 times earnings on the S&P forward, that is forward PE. So we're still very, very healthy, and growth is still going up. Inflation is still doing well. So we're doing all right. Good news, join a little late. Srivansa, make sure that you rewind to the beginning of the video. Lots of information today in this show. Please make sure everyone who's tuned in late does rewind to the beginning. Well, as an American who was born in America and several generations of my family were born in America, I can say for myself, I want you here and that you are much appreciated, brother man. That is what, isn't that lovely? David, that is much, much appreciated. I told Leah today, I said, I'm just not happy right now. I'd much rather go home. And that would be difficult because my wife is American and she lives here. I said, and I said, I know it's one person. I said, if I went down to Dallas today and in a really the bad part of town and I found some horrible person, some really bad, violent, person, you could find somebody nasty everywhere. It's only when you see it, though, it just hits home. And, this isn't a pretend. This is real, and it upset me, and I shared it with you, and we had a debate, and then the hate mail came in. I mean, it's my own fault, I know how to avoid all this. I know that if every day I go live, I say it's all going to be great tomorrow. We're all going to make money. XRP is about to explode. This is going to go up. I'll get a lot more views, a lot more subscribers, and it would all be a lot of rubbish. But people just want to hear that. But it's not what I do. There's loads of channels that do that, and it's not what I do. So I'm not going to start doing it. So I appreciate, David, your comments. Leston Wynn, hi everyone. Marjorie Taylor Greene, rude lady, is upset and been lashing out because she had high hopes of Trump picking her for a cabinet position. Namisha, thank you for sharing that. I didn't know about that. And remember, Martin, people are going to hate us because they anus from a movie. I don't know what that means. I think it's good. Howdy doody, folks. Saab. Good afternoon to you, Saab. Hi, Saab. David Hensley. Now, if you've just tuned in, please rewind to the beginning. I've put out lots of good news on this live stream today. My numbers are down. People have unsubscribed, but we just got to carry on moving forward, doing what's right. But we keep growing, we keep pushing forward. Make sure that you do rewind to the beginning. All the information was in the first 20 minutes. David Hensley, hi, said from Namisha. I fully expect a large digit return from VOOC this year, says Tommy Tinkler. Hey there, Savage. A correction takes on average 120 days to complete. Keep up the good job. You're entertaining and very informative, Martin. Appreciate everything you do. Accuracy is more important than hype. That's what I believe. Now, we just remind ourselves, I've just shared with you all the good news. I shared with you this. The growth is good. Inflation is good. Housing is good. We've just got uncertainty. So we're going to be there. I always remember Saab is here today. And Saab said to me on one of the calls, he said, Martin, you're going to do fine. You've got a $317,000 in the S&P 500 buying down on a dip. You're going to be fine. This is going to be great. And he's right. And I know because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. But as I say, it's difficult when we have to live through this. So anyway, we've got the fear index that's improved as well. We were in extreme fear. We're now moving up to fear. We've not been in neutral and greed now for quite a while, but we're going back there. We're going back there. Fear. This is not too bad. I mean, it's not great, of course, but it's moving steadily up. So it's all good. I just got a notification from Robinhood. Let me see that. Okay, that's fine. It looks like I'll share this on the screen with you. It looks like my $50 might have been received, into this new managed fund. No, it's not. It's just on process. If you didn't see our Robinhood video this morning, make sure you do. I do believe that members from Robinhood were watching, and I'm hoping to hear from them soon. So make sure that you watch that this morning, how I explained a live demo of Robinhood and the banking situation and the cash and all the rest of it. It's an amazing service that Robinhood is providing now. So for investors, I'm sure you're going to be highly rewarded. Anyway, let's read some more comments. Looks like space is finding a bottom here. I agree. And it's funny because the people that said they've lost all their money, I've not heard anybody say to me they bought this dip. They just said, I've lost my money. Well, how did you lose your money if you didn't sell? If you didn't sell, you could just buy at a lower price. I agree with you. Once this settles down, the short squeeze will go back into operation again. Let me just see what the current situation is with Virgin Galactic. And then I can guarantee when it does go up and squeezes again, none of those people will email me and say, oh, you were right, I should have stayed in. They won't do that. They'll just take their profit and just say nothing. But anyway, here's the short interest. Look at this. We've still got 30.2 short interest, short squeeze with volume, and a volume will come because we are down so low again now, below that average, that level we showed you the other day with Powell, Rod from Powell Group. Once we get near a delta, this is going to short squeeze, and $100 is completely doable, folks. But you know, the ones that like to troll me won't be in on the stock when that happens. They'll just be on the outside moaning in again, as they always are. So there you go. Virgin Galactic is showing some support. I agree with you on that one, Cedar Trees. What's going on with space? Hamza Hustle. I just gave a bit of information there. I think he's saying because they ain't us equals they ain't us. Oh, I see. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Hey, Martin, do you think stocks will continue to go down tomorrow? Well, we're due a next step up. Like I gave you that report earlier, we've been going 2 steps forward and 1 step back. We're in the 1 step back at the moment. We are up slightly today, but we haven't had that relief rally that we get in between. If we don't get anything out of Trump tomorrow saying more tariffs, but we never know. I do expect another leg up before the 2nd of April. And I'm not so sure the 2nd of April is going to be that bad now, because everyone knows now Trump is serious about tariffs. Everyone knows it's not just an idle threat. It's happening. So we've kind of already had the shock. We've priced it in. This could do better. I think the markets are keen and wanting to go up, and I think that what's most important is our real data, not what Trump's doing with tariffs. I think what's most important is earnings season. We are covering earnings season soon. May the 7th, we got Robinhood. We should have some in April as well. Let me just check. If you want to book yourself an earnings, you can. These are the earnings we've got coming up. Tomorrow is the 28th. Oh, yes, it's Friday tomorrow. Yeah, none tomorrow. Of course, it's the Friday phone-in. And then we have the concert tomorrow night on the event channel. But on Monday, these are the earnings you can have. If you want to book an earning, we're coming into earnings season. And we've also got some economic data. Core PCE tomorrow. There's your inflation tomorrow. So if this comes in good, which it will, there's my prediction, core PCE will come in good tomorrow because the tariffs are not priced in yet. Core PCE, my prediction, and don't get upset with me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Core PCE will come in good tomorrow, and it could be a nice rally tomorrow. If PCE was down, then maybe there's an issue, but I don't think so. Now, that's first thing in the morning at 7:30, and then we've got the spanner in the works. We got the Michigan consumer sentiment. So this is my prediction for tomorrow. Expect the market to rally in the morning, expecting this to do okay, and then try to sell off and buy back with the Michigan report. The Michigan report is essentially a Democratic political smash on Trump. So what they'll do, they will say whether Trump is right or wrong, good or bad, they'll say it's rubbish. And it's a completely useless, pointless, don't even know why they do it, political report. But this makes the market go down because people expect the market to go down, so it goes down. It doesn't need to go down. This is a completely worthless statement. I have no idea why anyone makes it, but they do. They make it. It doesn't rank on the reports. It's completely irrelevant. But because it is what it is, people will sell it off and they'll buy it back. So expect it to go down about 9 o'clock. So join me tomorrow, and that's my prediction. That's what I think will happen tomorrow. It will rally on this because I expect this to be good, and then it will sell off on this at 9 o'clock, and then it will bounce back. All right? That's my prediction for tomorrow. All right, hope that answers your question on that one. So that's that. I do not hold space. I only trade it. I only own the S&P. Fear not here, said Zax 8. 5-minute chart buying divergence. Is that bulling divergence on the RSI and the MACD turning up towards the VWAP? Thank you, Cedar Trees. Space down like a knife the last 2 days. Can never predict bottom. That guy on the stream bought at 380 and started talking chartonomics, and it dropped like a knife. They hate us because they ain't us. Oh, now I see. It's from a movie. Oh, hello. What's this?
Zack Zeit donated $10 through a super chat. I would like to book SPCE earnings in May, 6 more earnings to profit.
You've got it. Okay, let me go and check the date. It's first come, first serve. When you book the spot, they are gone. May the 6th, after hours expected. Of course, that might change. That's booked. So SPCE, May 6th, after hours. Okay, lovely stuff. Thank you very much. Zack Zate, yeah, thank you for that. Seth Rogen had me crying from laughing. It was so funny on parts. Thank you for that. Now I get it. Yeah, it's stuck in that downtrend on the 4-hour chart. It will likely rebound, but it could take a while. Silver price went up a lot today. I could have made $700. Could have, would have, should have, doesn't matter. Focus on what you do have. That's all that matters. Don't beat yourself up or be upset you didn't make a profit. It doesn't matter. What you do have is what's important. So, just worry about that. Let's have a look. Michigan Consumer Report crashed markets when Biden was in office as well. Don't understand the hate on this report. No, I don't. It's just silly. I don't even know why it exists. But, you might say, well, if the market's good and it's a free gift, right? It's just a free gift to buy lower. So anyway, there you go. I recall one Friday in October 2024 when the SPY crashed 23 points following a Michigan report. Yeah, we'll get ready for it tomorrow. Why hate on the Michigan report? Market crashed from these reports when Biden was in office. Well, I can't say. I don't write the reports. I'm just telling you what it is, just telling you how it works. I don't write the rules. It just is what it is. Has space management improved? Namisha, no, not really. We got it improved. We had our petition, which we got signed by the retail investors. 95% of the retail investors we represented at that time on our channel signed it, and we got it to the investor relations manager, Eric Kearney, and we got them to reduce their wage bill. We got them to lay off some people that weren't needed. And it worked. We did that. So have they changed? No. I still am not a fan of Virgin Galactic management, but I am a fan of, well, I shouldn't say I'm a fan, but I am appreciative of what they've achieved and where it's going. I just would love to see a new management. Anyway. Martin, do you think this new HUD features will hit SoFi to the downside? Yep. Yes, I don't like SoFi because the CEO from SoFi makes up stories. He tries to promote his stock and tells people that rates are going to go down when no one thinks they are, just to promote his stock. It's a bit of a meme stock. I love the technology, but it's going to be left behind with Robinhood. Robinhood have got a bank now. You can get cash delivered to your house. The new management managed investment account is incredible. There's no competition, and with the prices they're charging, no one else can compete with it. SoFi can't, and all the other boys like your Schwabs and your Ameritrade, none of them will come close to Robinhood. So Robinhood to me is one of my favorite stocks. I just wonder, is it in the S&P? Can someone tell me? I'd love to know if it's in the S&P, but it's one of my favorite stocks. I owned this when I was buying stocks at $8, and I said it was a $40 stock, and it did exactly that. In fact, it went to $50. Anyway, Martin, do you think, yes, I've answered that one. Any idea what Trump will say in 20 minutes? Is Trump speaking in 20 minutes? Jocelyn, can anyone send me a link? Is Trump speaking in 20 minutes? If so, I will stay on for that. I was going to end on the bell in 15 minutes, but I will stay on for that if Trump is speaking in a few minutes. I could certainly stay on for that. Where did you get the link on that? Okay, I'll keep my eye out for that. Does the value of transactions on a network directly translate to the coin's price of market cap? Does the value of transactions on a network directly translate to the coin's price or market cap? Not sure the question. Does the value of transactions on a network, you're talking about a crypto network now, aren't you, directly translate to the coin's price or market cap? I don't know if I can answer that one. I wouldn't say it's tied, like a correlation, like a tracking. Whatever it does, that's what it does. Crypto trades on sentiment, no fundamental, so I wouldn't have said so. The best person to speak to would be Sensei on Sunday, 3 p.m. Central on this channel. You can talk to Sensei and you can ask him, but I don't think so. Rivian up 10% today. Yes, I noticed that. Very, very nice indeed. Can you please do a tutorial for how to pay off half of your margin back? Tashi, can you please do a tutorial for how to pay half of your margin back? Yes, I can, but I have to focus on my members' requests. If you want to become a member, I could do that, but I've got lots of videos to make for my members. I could do a quick review now if you become a member, but I've got to focus on my members' questions right now. Robinhood is an amazing company and cheap in my opinion. XRP for the long wait, I agree. Evening all, Walker. WWW, what's that mean? Hood is not part of the index. It's not, okay. Is Hugh here today? Is Hugh here today? Danny's asking, is Hugh here today? It's not part of the index. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, I didn't know. Surprise, folks, I don't actually know everything. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to my system behind me and refresh CNBC. So if we get Donald Trump speaking in the next few minutes, we can have a listen in. There may be some information we can get from there. I'm watching all my other feeds, but I would like to go and refresh the CNBC. So stay right there. Let me go and do that. I'm just refreshing the screen a moment. Okay. Now I've got to bring the foot switches around because they were set up for a different show. And there we go. We should be able to bring it in now so I can monitor CNBC.
Power of CNBC Pro.
There we
Go to
go.
cnbc.com/getpro.
Okay, we'll have that there. Is that all working good?
Created the original Veridesk, the world's leading standing desk.
That's a bit weird. Why is it not full screen? Oh, it is. It is. Okay. So we'll listen out. We'll listen out for Trump if he's going to make an announcement, and then we'll bring that to you if it's available. So let me check on my other sources as well. Now then, I've also got a technical issue on Robinhood I want to explain today to everybody. You might be experiencing the same issue. So let me just bring this up so I've got this live. So I've got all my feeds open in case Donald Trump does speak. I don't know where Namisha's... Jocelyn, I beg your pardon. Jocelyn said... I just double-checked and the post was from yesterday. Oh, my apologies. Oh, that was yesterday. Yeah, we covered that yesterday. Yes, I wasn't expecting anything today, but hey, you never know. I'm ready now just in case. So all good here. Right, let me show you this. Now, you may be experiencing this yourself. Let me see if anybody is. So as you can see, I am actually up today, but on Robinhood, it's showing that I'm down. Can you see that? Okay, I'm actually up. It's because the calibration line is out of sync. It should be running through the middle of those red lines, and then I'd be up. Okay, so it's not the pattern isn't wrong. The numbers aren't wrong. It's the calibration where it sits, where the graph sits on the matrix, where it sits on the line. Okay, so if anyone else has Robinhood, go and check your account right now. Look at it. You could go on the week and then you can see where you think you should be, and look on the day and see if you are also out of sync. But this is a problem I've reported to Robinhood several times. I haven't lost any money. There's no issue. There's no problems. It's just the way it sits on the matrix is out. It should actually be sitting... That dotted line should be going through the center of those indicators there, and if they were, you'd see I'd be up. But the number I've got, the amount of money is exactly the same, the movement the same, the chart, everything's the same. But it's just a calibration on it, and let's see if you've got that issue as well. So that's why I'm showing the week, because if I show the day, it says I'm actually down, but I'm actually not. I'm actually up. Let's have a look. Trump says, I've got the best ideas, folks. Absolutely huge. It's not part of the index. Thank you, Andrew, for telling me that. Walker wonders. Oh, WW. Now I got it. Now Walker wonders why. Now I got it. Thank you, Zach. All right. Blood red today here on my MU stocks. Best thing to do in these times is to laugh and hold on for dear life. For me, at least, with Gumball, watch Gumball stock video on YouTube, the Gumball rally. Yeah, I love that. But no, I'm afraid that the MU stocks and the C stocks. I don't like using the word because it's not good for my YouTube channel. I don't see any future there now. I was saying before that Tilray was a $40 stock with everything that could come from it, but there is no desire from this administration to put it through. So unfortunately, there's nothing there to go on. We can guess, we can be optimistic, but when the election was running, it was one of Kamala Harris's things. It was all over press all the time, regularly, that this was going to get passed and cleared and so on and so forth. Trump saw it being popular, so he decided it was important for him as well. But I said at the time, this is not an important thing. And as you know, I've got friends and connections from the White House press room. So I hear stuff. I've got stuff on Instagram and X that I share with you, right? And I said, the Trump administration is not bothered about this. They're looking at other things. They're looking at the Ukraine war. They're looking at inflation. They're looking at Doge. They're looking at, tariffs. This is not their focus or interest whatsoever. And the moment Trump won, this all went away. And we had a few, if you remember, we had a few votes and a few different things that were done when it just got thrown out. No one was paying attention. So this was a Biden thing. It's not a thing I think Trump's bothered about. So that $40 target is still doable with full reclassification, full opportunity for the company to grow. However, there's no path to that. Now, it could happen. I don't know. It could happen. But if it takes 20 years to get there, you could have made the same money just by buying the S&P for sure. So the longer you're sitting around waiting, the longer you're missing out on a guaranteed growth. So I don't see it as a buy. I don't see it as cheap. I just see it as worth nothing at the moment. It could have been something great, but there's no evidence to say it's ever going to get better. I don't see it. I've talked about it with Rod on the Power Group. He still believes it's going up. I still believe it ain't. I'm not looking at the chart, which he is doing. I'm looking at the correspondence from people that work in government and people that can move the stock, and no one's got any interest in it at all. Infighting on the board with Erwin Simon, people just selling out, not caring, diversifying too much into craft beer, whereas that's not the business model. So I don't see anything here to get excited about, so it's not for me. So there you go. That's for you, Marcus. I just double checked and it was yet. Don't apologize. It could have. It's good anyway, because now at least I've got my CNBC ready to ring the bell.
A really broad spectrum.
See, so it actually worked out. It always works out for the best, right? I guess that's what you meant, Zach. Yes. We're in the matrix. We are in the matrix. Red pill, please. Any Gevo investors here? Earnings call at 1:30 p.m. today. Cedar Trees. I could have covered that. That's Pacific 1:32. I could have covered that. A bit too late now. No one booked it in. Cedar Trees is asking, Brian, I'm trying to decide which pill we should choose right now. I know it's a hard one, isn't it? But what time will you have your phone in tomorrow? Same time as always, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Every Friday, it's the Friday phone in, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Yep. Ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall, Vanessa. That's the way to go. I'm in here. I want to be with my XRP for the long haul, but will continue to contribute each month to my JEPQ. Very, very wise, I think. We reviewed that the other day, didn't we? 5 minutes to go before the bell. Now, if you did tune in halfway through, the first 20 minutes, I gave you lots of information, good news about the economy. Make sure that you do. If you missed the beginning of this video live stream, make sure that you go back to the beginning, because the first 20 minutes were full of facts, information, and so on and so forth. So you might want to go and do that. Tommy Tinkler says, Congress members recently bought Gevo and dumped it above 250, tanked since, says Tommy. I have no idea, but I'll take your word for it. Okay, as we come down to the last few minutes of the main session, let's have a look. You can see we're actually up today, as I said before. Did anybody else check their Robinhood accounts? Did anyone check to see if you're actually your calibration is out? So you're actually up when you're looking like you're down, like I am there. I'm actually green, I'm actually up, but the line is out. Yes, you did, Martin, and I appreciate the review. You're welcome, RB. Yes, my pleasure. Okay, 4 minutes to go. We're going to ring the bell. and then we're going to end. I'm actually going for a walk and talk this evening, except I'm not doing it on camera. I'm very, very tired, and I don't want to share my feelings anymore. I just want to walk in quiet, where I don't have to entertain and tell jokes. I just want to go for a walk tonight. I'd love you to join me if you were physically here, but you're not. I just don't want to walk around with my camera. I need to go for some exercise. I don't want to miss, but I don't want to talk. I just want to walk. So it's the walk without the talking tonight. So think of me walking around, but I just need to get some fresh air on my own. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. My Hood app looks like yours, Martyn. There you go. So yours is out as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's good to know. It's good that you all know it as well, so you all understand what's going on. All right? And here is my new managed fund, managed individual investing. There you go. Look at that. Very exciting. I'm waiting for my $50 to arrive. It's just so I can show you how it works. Remember, up to $1,000, it's free as well. Cedar Trees, have a wonderful evening. Martyn, thank you very much indeed. Cedar Trees, much love, Martyn. Feel better. I appreciate that. Okay. We've got 2 minutes to go. We're going to ring the bell and we're going to see what happens. And we're going to go old school. We're going to do Day Trader of the Day. We're going to do Stars of the Show. And there we go. We've already got our first 4 earnings booked in. Our next set of earnings, anybody wants earnings? So on, how long have I got to do this? 2 minutes. So on Monday, which is the 31st of March, we've got Nanox, WKHS, EDBL, LOAR. That'd be easy to show you on the screen, wouldn't it? This is on Monday. Sigma, PVLA, DTST, BLRX, Lien, LNZA, Westport, Akari, FTCI, SNYR, BOSC, Prophase, Venus, IMCC, LMFA, BCLI. These are pre-market. Then we got after hours. We got RAP, Sidus Space. That was Gorilla. It doesn't appear that I'm on the earnings for this one. I was hoping I'd be on the earnings for this one. Doesn't look like I am. MVST, BVH, PRGS, TTGT. I can cover any of these earnings. If you are a member, you can request them. We can do 4 earnings a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. So you might want to request one for Monday, and then on Monday I'll record the promo. If anyone wants Sidus Space, Gorilla, I thought somebody might. You do a $5 super chat, and once it's booked, it's booked. There's no more. I can do 4 a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, and what's happened there? What's happened there? What's happened there? What have I done there? Let me refresh that. Calendar. Why's it gone over there? What's going on? How long have I got? 30 seconds. Why has it suddenly just gone to one side of the screen? Anyway, whatever. I'll fix that in a minute. Okay, about to ring the bell. We are selling off again into the close. All right. Okay, and it's time to do Day Trader of the Day. Let's just ring the bell in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the bell has gone, and let's do Day Trader of the Day, and let's see what we got. Oh, there we go. I've refreshed the screen. It's back up to normal. That looks better. I have no idea why that was weird. Right, okay. So, Day Trader of the Day, and time for the stars of our show as well. All right. This will refresh. Now, don't forget, folks, look out for your S&P 500. You're going to get your dividends today. Yes. If you scroll down here later on, it's ex-dividend date today. So probably in the morning, I think it is, you'll get a notification somewhere on your VU, and it will tell you, how do you do, that you are indeed getting your dividends on the 31st, but it will notify you tonight or tomorrow morning. So let's do day trader of the day. Now, I can't enter the competition because I'm not down at all, but it looks like I'm down, but I'm not. But it looks like I am, but I'm not. So I'm going to be out of the competition. Let's do day trade of the day for everybody else. Let's see who wins. Here we go. We got Brian Bynum is down 3.52. Let me do roll the credits. Here we go. Stars of our show today. Let's see who wins. New subscriber, Dan Carter. Thank you. Super chat from Zachzay. Very quiet today on the stars of the show. Just one subscriber, one super chat, but we appreciate it very much indeed. Coming up, closing bell overtime. We've got Tom Lee.
Think about seasonality patterns historically.
I wonder when he's going to call in, because that would be very, very interesting. I'd like to record it. Wussah, that's what we need. That's what we need. Wussah! Much love, Martin. Feel better. Thank you. I hope a peaceful walk tonight. Thank you. My Hood app looks like yours. Have a wonderful evening, Martin. Cheers, mate. Brian, I've got 300. Stocks closed. I'm just looking to see if we can get Tom Lee on the show. We all need a break from the news. Enjoy the walk, Martin. Yes. Waiting for 281. Hopefully it won't get there. Yes. Martin, with what I've got in that case. Happy with what I've got in that case. Yep. Down 3.52. Down 2.13. Anybody up? Tommy Tinkler is up. Tommy Tinkler is up. Oh, when's Tom Lee on the phone? Coming up. Tom Lee's coming up in a minute. Tommy Tinkler, I'm going to say you are our winner. No one else has put in a higher number than you, so congratulations to you. Thank you very much indeed, and give him a thumbs up. You are our winner. Absolutely great. Okay.
A lot of uncertainty in terms of what moves
Waiting for Tom Lee to come on the show. Hopefully we'll get this now. So we'll say goodbye, but we won't go anywhere because I'm going to record this. All right. Down 1.6. Thank you very much. I'm not really going anywhere. Don't know. This is what I normally do. I wait. I don't wave, do I? When do I ever wave? Anyway, normally say goodbye, but I'm not going to say goodbye because I'm waiting for Tom Lee to come up. He should be on in a moment. Doop beat shoot beat doobie doop ba da doop ba doop ba doop ba da wow wow. Bosh. That was rubbish. Bad timing. Call yourself a professional. There you go. Trump is day trader of the day, tanking the market faster than any time. Quite the feat. Down 0.58. I am mostly invested in the UK. Down 1.6. There you go. I'm up £35. That's the way to do it, mate. Very, very good indeed. All right. Okay. So we're on standby. I'm waiting for Tom Lee. This is a really good interview.
If you have cash, I certainly have been putting it to work. And by the way, for the first time, I've been adding some gold to the portfolio because I think that is a long-term secular trend with the central banks buying. It's very different than it's. So
we're waiting for Tom Lee. We'll bring you that in a moment. As soon as we get Tom Lee, it should be coming up any second now. So we really want this. This would be a very, very interesting listen in. Good. Should I win? I'm only 25% invested in the US stocks. Yeah. It's your overall portfolio. It's not American stocks. It's any stocks. As long as it's your overall portfolio, then you are the winner. Yes, indeed. You are the winner. Right. Awaiting Lululemon as well. Results.
tariffs aren't as bad as we originally thought. If, in fact, the tax cuts are extended, and if we learn in June that the Federal Reserve does cut interest rates by 25 basis points, those are three pretty strong tailwinds that could ride us out for a strong second half of the year.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to record my intro for this because I'm going to put it out as a video. So 15:06. Inflation, fears, tariffs. There's one person who can always set us straight. Tom Lee from Fundstrat. We're about to have him live on the show. Not literally. He's live, but he's kind of being streamed from somewhere else. But there you go. He's on the show. He's live. And we're going to listen to Tom Lee from Fundstrat. This is a really important interview. I always pay close attention to what Tom Lee says. He's got great insight. He often agrees with me. I often agree with him. You understand what I'm saying. So we've now got that interview live. So let's go over to Tom Lee. Here we go. So there was Tom Lee. We heard from him once again, some good words. And I hope you enjoyed that. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here and over here, there are more links I think you'll find useful. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. All right. There's my intro and outro. Now I'm just waiting for Tom Lee.
Hadn't happened in a long, long time. Question was, were they losing?
That's how you
shares
make
to some
live
big,
TV.
important competitors, you know, are they?
If I can count on gold, I'm doing pretty good. Hi, Martin. What about commodities? Thank you. We haven't got time now, William. We talked about gold and silver earlier on in the show. You missed it. But we're just about to finish the show right now. I'm just waiting for Tom Lee to speak. And the moment he does, I shall be out of here. Me too, said Saab. Gold down 1.35. MSK, Namisha, why wouldn't you count your commodities? Up 0.9. Yeah, your overall portfolio is what we measure. I took the daily DCA approach for the last year. I'm right back here where I started. We go again. S&P. Rob S. Hello, Rob S. How are you? Where you calling in from? Seems like an important portion of the market. Still have a Michael Jackson glove, Martin. Still having Michael Jackson glove. Wave goodbye with that. Oh yeah. Hi. Will you stream Gove earnings call again? If one of my members requests it, it's a $5 super chat from a member. I certainly will. But if someone requests it, I will. And the good news is, for you, Geo, somebody has requested it. On May the 13th, after hours, yes, I'll be covering Mobix earnings. Someone has already donated $5 for me to cover Mobix earnings. So yes, I will be covering it. Jason, hi. Do you think the 2nd of April will dump the markets? I think tomorrow is more important. We've already priced in all the tariffs. Tomorrow is CPI inflation. And then we got the Michigan report, which is purely all about...
However, if you look at the guidance going forward, that is disappointing there.
Lululemon.
And also even the fourth quarter same-store sales were disappointing, up 3%. The street was looking for 5%. And Americas, that was flat. That's obviously the biggest and most important region. International growing, sure, but smaller. And those same-store sales were up 20%. So much of the growth not coming from Americas. That is the key region. Gross margins for the fourth quarter were 60.4%. That was better than the expected 59.7%. But again, it's forward-looking guidance, so there's not much commentary here from the executives.
Martin's not selling his view.
Sort of
yeah, there you go. And I include that. East Yorkshire. Wonderful. Lovely to have you here. I've toured all over Yorkshire. Is it Whitby? I've done the Whitby Theatre, Scarborough Theatre.
Okay. Courtney Reagan, thank you. NVIDIA shares are closing lower today again after a big pullback on Wednesday. Now we're awaiting pricing for CoreWeave. Now, this is a company that rents out access to NVIDIA chips.
We are waiting for Tom Lee. Any moment, we're going to have Tom Lee on the show. I've recorded the intro and the outro for it. Just waiting for Tom Lee to give us his thoughts. Very, very important stuff. I like to listen into this. So we're just on standby for that.
around this one. Hotly anticipated, as you mentioned. Sounds like it's a bit coolly received. The whisper number right now is $40 per share, which is about 15% below the marketed range. And that's the price by which I'm told that NVIDIA, as you mentioned, agreed to serve as an anchor investor with an order worth about $250 million. Prior to the IPO, NVIDIA already owned 6% of CoreWeave. I'm hearing 3 big investors have put in orders for about half of the book, but they still may need to cut the amount of shares to better match demand. Final decisions taking place now that the market is closed. As with many deals, though, timing is everything. The AI fervor seemed unstoppable through much of last year, but earlier in 2025, the DeepSeek phenomenon called into question some of the CapEx figures on AI. And just earlier this week,
we're just watching a few
Alibaba's
things
Joe
here
Tsai
as we
warned of a
wait for Tom
bubble
Lee.
in-
So I'll be answering questions until we get there. Any moment he's on the show. Thanks. Good luck. Gio, you're very welcome to you. I added James, PLC Floor Company. Rob S., hello from West Yorkshire. There you go. Wasn't your outro to swing your chair around? Yeah, not tonight. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. But
Klarna or StubHub or eToro that are now waiting.
No, I'm not feeling that at all. Croatia, wonderful. Croatia. We have a member from Croatia. You can always tell that because I've got my flags here. Where have I got my flags? I've not used the flags for ages, have I? Overlays. Oh, here are the flags. No, they're not. I've not played my flags for ages. But we got members from Croatia. Let me just clear this away, see if this will bring it in. I've not done this for a while. Overlays, flags. No, my flags aren't working since I've updated my system. So I'll need to check that. But yeah, we've got members from Croatia, Slovakia, Slovenia, all that whole area. Wonderful to have you here. If you become you are a member. I may have already spoken to you then in your native language. When you become a member, I speak to you in your language.
And the buy side knows that, and therefore they may be pushing.
We're just waiting for Tom Lee. I'm going to put it together as a video, which will go out later. Really want to hear what he has to say. It's opening day in baseball and MLB TV is down worldwide. Does anything work correctly in a Trump? I don't think Trump's responsible for the baseball, sorry. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
For new issues overall, it kind of creates
a fellow Yorkshireman. Lovely, I love it. When you go to Yorkshire, one thing you notice, it's very, very different than any other part of the country. It's the only county where all the fields are divided by walls. Everywhere else, it's hedges. And the moment you go into Yorkshire, you see row after, field after field with walls all the way around. And the rest of the country, it's hedges. It's very dramatic. You really notice that when you drive up to Scotland and you go into Yorkshire, you see all of the walls, the stone walls surrounding all of the fields. And when you look down over a hill and you see lots of squares, all the walls.
The NASDAQ 100, that's driven principally by the mega cap growth stocks, down almost 6%. That's not to say that tariff impacted stocks are not also acting.
And they're like yellow walls as well. So, yeah.
You've had industrials that are off like 8% from their high. But in general, the rest of the market outside of tech is finding a way to hang in there. Now, you guys were just talking about the speed of the correction, the S&P 500 year to date, which we just saw from February 19th down to a low a few weeks later. That is interesting. Now, historically, the faster a 10% drop, you can tend to have better upside results in the 3 to 6 months after that. Although you sort of see we're just sort of chopping around.
Sorry,
this,
William, I can't talk about Lululemon. I'm just waiting to end the show.
Already, I wanted to sort of look at this. You have this nice high
just
in
waiting
the first part
for
of the year,
Tom
and then
Lee.
a quick correction, and compare it to a year that some people are bringing up, 2018, which also, like this year, came after a very strong year the prior year, and 20% higher in the S&P 500. And what happened here was, guess what? A 10%, almost exactly 10% correction in about 3 weeks, 2.5 to 3 weeks. You did get a recovery, not a full recovery, not a very strong, exuberant one. A lot of people were complaining, wow, we didn't really see
Rob,
tremendous
it's still
demand
wrong.
for buying
It
that
often
dip. You
corrects
didn't really
in the
gain
morning.
momentum, but the market managed to grind higher until we got to the
Or
latter part of
midnight
the year.
tonight.
That's when it
So
was
it's still
perceived
wrong.
the Fed was staying too tight, and tariffs, they couldn't be shrugged off anymore. There was a slowdown scare, and you did get that mini quick 20%, almost 20% setback later that year. So nobody's necessarily prepared to predict exactly that, but it's the kind of thing that can happen if you don't get a really energetic response to a 10% correction relatively
yes,
soon.
it's corrected now.
And of course, 2018, to your point, was the year when in Trump 1, you did start to see tariffs and some of these policies go into effect in a more meaningful way. So it does raise the question, how much can we, and I know policy is going to...
Yes, RB, that's correct now, because I was green, now I've gone red. Yes, it has corrected, because it was saying I was down like $2,000 and now I'm down 730. Yeah, so it has corrected. You're absolutely right, RB. It has corrected. Is yours corrected as well? Because mine has, yeah.
You know, exerting some of the same pressures along with the same policies, but because 2017 was an incredibly low volatility melt-up year. It's very similar to what we saw last year. There was strength in the underlying economy. The Fed was considered to be out of the way. And then you have this kind of back and forth reckoning with a different environment, a little bit of a volatility eruption. And then, yes, the market tries to look on the bright side to see if the policies are going to hit. By the way, the economy ended up being fine here. You know, the Fed sort of stepped off the brake, and everything was okay. It really was mostly a scare in late 2018, but, you know, it didn't feel good in the moment.
All right, Mike Santoli, looking back through recent history. We'll see you later this hour as well.
Yep.
After the break, are animal spirits still present in the market?
Yes.
We're going to ask longtime bull Tom Lee if he sees upside in the second quarter after a downbeat.
Great. So Tom Lee's coming up in a minute. That's what I've been waiting for. Fantastic. All right, good. So Tom Lee interview in a second. I've already made the the intros and the outros, and we're waiting. So after the break, next 2 minutes, Tom Lee. It'll be a 5-minute interview, I'm sure, and then we'll be done. But I share a lot of his sentiments and beliefs and his thought processes. So I'm always quite interested when he speaks. Awesome, Rob. Yeah, gotcha. Yes, it did. It has corrected now. We're just on a little break. So when we come back in 2 minutes, we shall have Tom Lee on the show. Trump wants a recession. Says Bunga Bunga. He wants stock market collapse. However, this is just a correction and the market will not comply with Trump. It does look like it's showing resilience. Bunga Bunga, you've just tuned in at the end. If you want to go actually back to at the beginning of the video, I gave lots of good news today, lots of facts, lots of resilience in the market, inflation, housing, I gave my predictions for inflation tomorrow morning. Lots of good stuff. You might want to go and check that out. Please go and do that. Anyone who tuned in at the end of the show today, please go back to the beginning and you'll see a lot more information than you've got now, because I made all my facts and stuff and predictions at the beginning of the video. Right, we're on standby. We're just waiting for Tom Lee. We're on a break, look.
Pizza making.
We're on a break. We're out. Oh, that looked nice, didn't it? Didn't that pizza look nice? That stuffed crust. Oh, I like that. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. Then I'll put it out as a video later on. No, mine is still off, but I could see yours had changed. Yeah, because you can tell, because if I go to my VU, it's the same. So I'm all in on VU. So if I go to VU, how do you do? Right? I should be double. There you go. I'm down 0.29, so I should be down about 0.6 because of margin, right? Okay, it amplifies it. So if I look there, look, 0.6. That's exactly where it should be. So I was down like $2,000, now I'm down 700, so that's absolutely fine. Phew, thank God for that. As I say, the numbers don't change. The numbers are the same. You haven't lost any money. It's just the calibration of where it sits on the matrix. Mine is still off, but I could see yours had changed. There you go. Plus 45 adjusted with commodities. You need a holiday, Martin. You worked so much. Yes, planning a break soon.
As I bring you into this conversation, the head of research at Fundstrat and a CNBC contributor, because he's talking about animals in hibernation, not animals dying. It goes back to this idea of uncertainty around things like trade and tariff policy, and the fact that as of right now, in the midst of that uncertainty, perhaps companies are sitting on their hands before they start to make any kind of future investments. So if that's the situation, how much does getting some sort of certainty now frame the investment thesis for how you position yourself moving forward?
I think that's exactly what's happening now, Morgan. First, in 2018, which Michael was talking about, the spike in the VIX or the collapse in investor sentiment or consumer confidence, that all happened around February 2018. So really that coincided with that first low that was made in 2018, and the market began to stage its recovery. I don't blame any business or investor for saying, look, there's so much uncertainty, I can't make a decision. I think that's why Rick Rieder's talking about animals in hibernation. But as we start to think about the second half of this year, first of all, we've already had the collapse in sentiment. We've seen $850 billion of cash raised over the past year on money market balances. And then in the second half, we're looking for possibly tax reform, which really propelled stocks in 2017. So I think that the odds of a V-shaped recovery in stocks that come after April 2 is just extremely high, because we've already sequenced a lot of the panic that people saw in 2018. I think it's already taken place.
So what would you be buying right now?
Well, to us, I think Exhibit A for a V-shaped recovery is going to be Tesla, because it's really been one of the most controversial stocks, and it's been caught in that sort of political maelstrom of Doge and Elon Musk's involvement in the White House. And I think it's already recovered more than 15%. But I think if Tesla is leading us into this balance, that's a bull case for Mag 7 to be the group to own in the next few months.
So you like Mag 7, even though we've been talking about things like cash burn at Microsoft and all of the CapEx investments and worries about a bubble in AI spending?
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, it's been a self-amplifying downturn, right? Because we've been worried about AI as a bubble and the CoreWeave IPO at a time when we have tariff uncertainty. So I could see it as a very convenient reason why investors have actually avoided Mag 7, and it's been the group that kind of really led the downturn. But it is a cyclical trade too, because I think once investor confidence returns and they're going to start to buy stocks, the Mag 7 are not only the best companies, but they're the most liquid, and they've really derated. On top of that, I think financials and industrials look attractive as well.
What do you think it takes to see that reversal in sentiment? And we talk so much about when sentiment gets negative enough, it becomes a contrarian buy signal. So if we're there now, then what are going to be the catalysts to start to shift that confidence again?
Well, I think the focus right now is on April 2. So I think the market has a lot of myopia around getting tariffs and tariff clarity. But we know that tariffs are just one part of the administration's goal. There is reducing regulatory cost, and then there is extending tax cuts. I think as investors start to think about that for the rest of the year, that gets them quite excited. And of course, I think we have a lot of what I would call spooled energy. Investors can't stay this bearish. The VIX can't stay this anxious. There is a lot of firepower and dry powder on the sidelines. And I think businesses can't stay cautious forever. I mean, once they know the ground rules, I think they're going to actually start making decisions.
All right. Tom Lee, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, don't miss Tom Lee and other CNBC pros from the New York Stock Exchange on June 12th.
So there we go. How about that? So for me, that's the S&P 500. Stay in. A lot of good information there. And again, it's always nice when I hear Tom Lee speak, because if you go back to the beginning of today's video, that's the information that I was giving you ahead of him saying that at the beginning of this video. So go and check that out and you'll go and see. In the first 20 minutes, I was talking about growth. I was talking about inflation. I was talking about housing. I was talking about the future after 2nd of April. All those things. And it's always nice when Tom obviously listens to my show and then calls in afterwards and goes, oh, I just learned this from Martyn Lucas. I'm only joking, folks. But anyway, it's good to see that. So go and have a listen to the first 20 minutes. I love it. The only thing I would say, I wouldn't be buying Tesla. I know Saab loves Tesla, and I agree. Tesla's a great business, but I just cannot own anything that is so trades like a meme stock. I just can't do it. I wouldn't even if I wasn't doing the show. For me, it's the S&P because you own Tesla, but you own the Mag 7. They'll all benefit when Tesla goes up, and they will. And when we get confidence, people will buy. Right, that's it from me, folks. I'm going to end the show. Thank you so much indeed. I was just waiting for that. I'll put that out as its own video. It's great if you get a chance to watch it. I'd appreciate it because it really helps the channel. But I'm going to redirect you now to the extra channel. Want to go and check that out? Carry on chatting away. Support each other. Keep the live conversation going live now. And I'm going to go off for a walk in a minute. No walk and talk tonight. It's just a walk. I just need to be on my own and I'd love to be with you if you were with me, but I don't want to be holding my phone up, talking, entertaining. I just want to get out of the studio, get some fresh air, and so on and so forth. But anyway, there you go. Live now on Extra. Sensei's doing a good chart. Watching him do that now. Learn his charts. All right. So let's have a look. Govik's call starts in 5 minutes. Yeah, you're not a member, I'm afraid, Gio. If you'd been a member and you'd done a $5 super chat, I would have covered the earnings, made a video out of it, done the whole thing. But that didn't happen. You had the chance to do it, chose not to, so I'm not going to cover that right now. But anyway, thank you. Come on, Tesla baby. $7 trillion currently on the sidelines. Get paid and can add to the pot tomorrow. Leston win. Great. KULL go up today. Total money market fund assets decreased by 21.74 billion to 7 million for the week ended Wednesday, March 19th. The Investment Companies Institute reported. Interesting video just posted on Fox Business about tariffs. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening. I'll come be a cameraman. There you go. If you can hold the camera, then it's good. But I don't want to talk. I just want to walk. I just want to walk. There you go. If you were with me, we could walk around together in quiet. But I just don't want to walk and think of entertaining all the time. So I'm going to have a break. That's it from me. Thank you ever so much indeed. I will see you back in the morning. That's it. Let me clear the decks. We did the day trade of the day. We did our star of the day, and now it's time for me to go and have a break. What a day that was. I started the morning by coming on and sharing my thoughts about the tariffs and that horrible woman who was rude and everything, and I explained it all and showed it all and spent the day receiving email after email of people telling me to get out of America. We don't want you here. We don't want your money and everything else. And this journey on YouTube, it's not as easy as you think, folks. Let me tell you, especially the way I do it, live and it's real. That's it from me. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you back in the morning. As always, take care of yourselves and each other. Love you all. Bye-bye for now.